हेलो एवरीवन, हाउ आर यू ऑल? कैसे हैं आप सब? आई होप आपको हमारे लेक्चर्स पसंद आ रहे हैं। तो आज हम एक और इंटरेस्टिंग टॉपिक पढ़ने वाले हैं और वो है एनेक्सेशन ऑफ बंगाल। सो इंग्लिश ईस्ट इंडिया कंपनी which came to India as a trading company wanted access to the province of Bengal because it was the most successful industrial region in India. The East India Company opened a port in Calcutta, and by the mid 1700 the European military strength of Great Britain and France surpassed the Mughal Empire that ruled Bengal. So basically, the separate province of Bengal came into prominence under Murshid Quli Khan in 1717, and he ruled till 1727. He brought about the radical administrative reforms in Bengal to establish himself as an effective ruler. He was succeeded by Shujauddin in 1727, which was the Nawab of Bengal till 1739, and Shujauddin was succeeded by, in 1727, Shujauddin became the Nawab of Bengal. He married to the daughter of Murshid Quli Khan, and he was also a brave and liberal and generous person. Shujauddin became Nawab after the death of his father-in-law Murshid Quli Khan, and Shujauddin was succeeded by Sarfaraz Khan in 1739. Sarfaraz Khan was assassinated by Ali Vardi Khan in 1740, and Ali Vardi Khan became the Nawab of Bengal in 1714, and he ruled till 1756. Actually, Ali Vardi Khan was defeated by Maratha Peshwa in 1751, and he had to cede the province of Orissa to the Maratha Peshwa, the then Peshwa Balaji Bajirao. In the year of 1756, Sirajud-Dowla became the Nawab of Bengal. When he became Nawab, he was a ruler totally against British East India Company. The new Nawab Sirajud-Dowla challenged the increasing power of British. To consolidate its position, the British built what? Fort William in Calcutta. So this further infuriated Sirajud-Dowla, and he attacked the fort and won. Soon after, what happened? Robert Clive was asked to take charge of the company, and on June 23rd, 1757, in the Battle of Plassey, Clive cleverly ousted Sirajud-Dowla and defeated the French ally of Nawab, signed a pact with the defeated army, and killed the Nawab. So finally, in the Battle of Plassey, Sirajud-Dowla and his allies were defeated by British. But Sirajud-Dowla actually defeated due to the betrayal of the top officials. Only two officers fought on behalf of Sirajud-Dowla, and they were Mir Madan and Mohanlal. After the Battle of Plassey, an agreement was followed, and the terms of agreement were: first was the British East India Company got the zamindari rights over Bihar, Bengal and Odisha, and also they got zamindari rights over 24 Parganas in Bengal. And moreover, it was understood that the private traders of the East India Company were not supposed to pay any tax on trade. In 1757, Mir Jafar became the Nawab of Bengal. Mir Jafar actually supported the Britishers against the Sirajud-Dowla. So he was a puppet of British East India Company. But gradually it was realized by Mir Jafar that it was not possible to satisfy British officials in India. Therefore, he started doing what? Showing reluctance. So he was replaced by Mir Qasim in 1760 by the British officials, and he transferred the capital of province of Bengal from Murshidabad to Munger. Means Mir Qasim transferred the capital of Bengal. So it is very important. And another was Mir Qasim gave some district of Bengal to British authorities in lieu of their support. These districts were Burdwan, Midnapur and Chatgaon. But Mir Qasim opposed privileges to traders and wanted to give equal privileges to Indian traders. That is why he abolished custom duty on the goods of Bengal to bring parity. But Mir Qasim was dethroned by British authorities and Mir Jafar was again made Nawab of Bengal in 1763. But he ruled only for 2 years. And meanwhile, Mir Qasim joined hands with Shah Alam II, the later Mughal emperor, and Nawab Shujauddaulah of Awadh. The three powers collectively forced the British authority at the Battle of Buxar. So, on October 23, 1764, the Battle of Buxar started. But the British won and Mir Qasim fled, as did Shah Alam too. Shujauddaulah fought for another few months before he too fled, losing miserably. Meanwhile, Mir Jafar was dethroned in 1765 and Najmuddaulah was made the Nawab of Bengal and he was the last Nawab of Bengal and he ruled from 1765 to 1772. So as always, Britishers also made an agreement, and the terms of agreement after the Battle of Buxar between British and Shah Alam II was, first was Shah Alam II, the late Mughal emperor, gave the Diwani rights or right to collect the revenue and to look after the civil administration of Bengal, Bihar and Orissa. And as we have studied earlier that Zamindari rights were given after the Battle of Plassey and now the Diwani rights after the Battle of Buxar. So they have got now what? Both the Diwani and Zamindari rights. British authorities signed an important agreement with Najmuddaulah as well, who was installed as the Nawab of Bengal with British support in 1765. So this agreement envisaged right of appointing or nominating a deputy Subedar in Bengal, who was to look after the criminal administration of Bengal. This agreement in Bengal is known as dual government in Bengal. But this dual government is actually different from double government that was in Pitt's India Act. Double government means Board of Control and Court of Directors. This was double government, but this was abolished in the Act of 1858 Act. So this agreement of Bengal is dual government in Bengal, and that was double government. The British authority also got the right of civil administration as well as the criminal administration in province of Bengal through separate agreements. This arrangement of administrative machinery is known as dual government of Bengal, continued from 1765 to 1772. So this system of administration facilitated the British authority to subjugate the province of Bengal and to exploit the rich resources of the most prosperous province. So the British authority, after the victory over the province of Bengal, started to use the wealth generated from Bengal to purchase the products for the purpose of selling in European markets. This led to drain of wealth from India to Britain, for which India didn't receive any material award. This machinery of drain of wealth was first recognized by whom? Dadabhai Naoroji, who is also known as the first economic thinker. So, first economic thinker was Dadabhai Naoroji. And the quantification of drain of wealth was first attempted by Ramesh Chandra Dutt in his work Economic History of India. One more thing, it's very important for you to know that the treaty which was made after the Battle of Buxar is also known as Allahabad Treaty, which was signed on August 16, 1765 by Lord Robert Clive and Mughal Emperor Shah Alam II. The annexation of Bengal was first step to establishing a strong foothold in India, and after annexing Bengal, the Britishers actually made their presence very strong. So this was all for today. Thank you.